Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to A.B. Weathersby Field. It's Clarke Central Gladiators. Welcome to Salem Seminoles. We're going to call out the starting lineup. If you line up on the third and first base lines, we call your name. Leading off for the Seminoles, number 13, second baseman, Jordan Scott. Number 1, the shortstop, Josh Webster. The center fielder, number 4, Zach Bailey. The right fielder, number 20, Ian Moon. Designated hitter today, number 5, Reed Hill. Starting off on the mound, number 16, Jason Howell. Catching tonight, Taiwan Head, number 24. And on first base this evening, number 14, Garrett Needham. On third base, number 3, Adam Hood. In left field, number 12, Terry Rocker. Starting for the Gladiators tonight, third baseman, Noah Fairbairn. Center fielder, number 15, Patrick Matthews. Catching tonight, number 23, Jack Elliott Gower. The shortstop, number 16, Hunter Cutts. Left fielder, number 21, Luke Bennett. First base tonight, number 19, Tucker Crumpton. Designated hitter this evening, number 17, Terry McHugh. Starting on the mound for the Gladiators, number 9, Luke Scoba. Right field, number 18, Jordan Bonner. And second baseman, number 4, Isaiah Sims. If our stands will stand and face the right field wall, we'll do the national anthem.
Hello and welcome to AB's Weathersby Field here at Clarke Central High School. Today we got the Salem Seminoles coming into town. They come in at 9-2 overall, 1-10 in their region. Let's take a look at the Clarke Central's defensive lineup. We got Luke Scoba on the mound, Jack Elliott Gower behind the plate. Across the infield from first to third, we have Tucker Crumpton, Isaiah Sims, Hunter Cutts at short, and Noah Fairbairn at third. Left to right across the outfield, Luke Bennett, Patrick Matthews, and Jordan Bonner, who has been lighting it up out in the field lately. Been huge defensive help out there for Clarke Central. Clarke Central comes in to this game 5-16 overall, 2-9 in their region. They did win on Friday over the same Salem team 8-4 behind two big home runs by Hunter Cutts, shortstop today for Clarke Central. The lineup for Salem is a very, very young team. We got Jordan Scott leading off, playing second base. Number 1, Josh Webster in the 2-hole. Zach Bailey in the 3-hole. Cleanup hitter is Reed Hill, the DH today. Batting 5th is Jason Howe, pitching. Taiwan Hill follows him up, catching. In the 7-hole is Garrett Needham playing first. Adam Hood in the 8-hole playing third base. And Terrian Walker out in left field, rounding out the Salem Seminoles order.
Leading off for the Seminoles, Jordan Scott.
Stepping up to the plate, we got Jordan Scott, second baseman today. Shadows creeping toward the pitcher a little bit. Scoba deals his first pitch, and that ball is inside for ball 1. Shadows shouldn't play a factor right yet, but may as the sun goes down a little bit. The 1-0 from Scoba is down in the dirt for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes here on the leadoff hitter, Scott. Scott waits on the 2-0, and that is ball 3 high. Scoba falling behind to this leadoff batter, 3-0. Needs to get one across his plate right here and avoid putting a runner on. 3-0 is right down the middle for strike 1. The 3-1 is shot to left field, right off Fairbairn's glove at third and into left field. And Jordan Scott is on there. And that will be ruled a hit.
The shortstop, number 1, Josh Webster.
So Jordan Scott on with a line drive shot down the left field line. He's on over at first base. Josh Webster, the shortstop, steps up to the plate. Squares around a bunt, pulls back and swings, and that ball is hit towards center. Patrick Matthews settles under it and will retire Webster for the first out of the inning. No advancement by Scott.
Now batting, center fielder, number 4, Zach Bailey.
3-hole hitter Zach Bailey steps up to the plate, center fielder for Salem today. Scott still over there at first, takes his lead. Scoba comes set and steps off. Comes set once again and delivers, and there goes Scott. And he is thrown out trying to steal a base. Nice throw there by Jack Elliott Gower. Looked like Scott may have gotten a little bit of a late jump and didn't even slide when he got into second base, so it was a pretty easy call there for the first base umpire. 2 outs now in the top of the first inning. 1 ball, no strikes here on Zach Bailey. Bailey awaits the 1-0. He fists that one to short. Hunter Cutts fields a little spinner right there and throws over to first, and he will retire him. That is 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base after 1/2 inning. Tie ball game.
Go 2-4.
And we're back to the bottom of the first inning. Quick 3-up, 3-down inning. One runner was caught stealing, and 2 putouts by Clarke Central. Gets them up to the plate in the bottom of the first. Out in the field defensively for Salem, we have Jason Howell pitching. Taiwan Hill behind the plate. First to third, we got Garrett Needham, Jordan Scott, Josh Webster. And over at third, Adam Hood. Left field to right field, we got Terrian Walker, Zach Bailey, and Ian Moon. Stepping up to the plate for Clarke Central, we have Noah Fairbairn, third baseman. Had a ball hit off his glove in the first inning and trickle into left field. He looks to lead off Clarke Central here. Awaits the pitch from the lefty. That is ball 1. Following Noah Fairbairn, we have Patrick Matthews and Jack Elliott Gower. Hunter Cutts if anyone gets on base. The 1-0 from Hal. That ball is just a bit outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Squeezing the zone a little bit. Wasn't giving Scoba much room to flirt with it all in the top of the first, and that one just barely missed the plate. Looks like Hal might be having a little bit of trouble with the signs. The sun coming in right there. Now deals 2-0. As in there for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike here on Fairbairn. And Fairbairn swings at that ball right on the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Fairbairn. The 2-2 delivery, and Fairbairn shoots that one to center. Zach Bailey boots that one, and that Fairbairn heads to second and will be in there standing up. Leadoff runner reaches base. And
now batting center fielder Patrick Matthews.
Patrick Matthews stepping up to the plate for Clarke Central. Fairbairn reached on that error to second base, and Matthews squares around a bunt and pops that one foul. No balls, 1 strike here on Matthews. Fairbairn down at second takes his lead. Hal comes set, steps off. Once again asking for signs to be relayed once again. Comes set and now gets ready to deal the 0-1. And that ball is down in the dirt for ball 1. A little double take there. Fairbairn at second, then delivered his pitch. Looked pretty close to a little bit of a balk right there, moving his shoulders a little too much. Comes set with the 1-1. Matthews skies that one right behind us here. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on the 2-hole hitter, Patrick Matthews. One ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. That ball is down inside, gets by Taiwan Hill, and Fairbairn heads down to third base. Oh, it may have, excuse me, the ball did hit Patrick Matthews there, so Matthews will reach base, but Fairbairn will head back to second base.
Number 23, Jack Elliott Gower.
So now Clarke Central's got runners on first and second, nobody out. In the heart of their order coming up to the plate, Jack Elliott Gower steps up now. With Hunter Cutts on deck. Checks Fairbairn a second, delivers, and Elliott Gower shoots that one to center field. Bailey settles under it and will retire Gower this time. One out here in the top of the first, or bottom of the first inning. Hunter Cutt stepping up to the plate now. Had a big game on Friday. Two two-run home runs en route to an 8-4 victory for Clarke Central. So now he's got 2 runners on. Maybe he can make it a 3-run home run. You never know. Checks Fairbairn over at second, delivers. And he fouls that one back to the screen. By the reaction of that crowd, it may have hit a car. No balls, 1 strike here on the 4-hole hitter, Hunter Cutts. Runners on first and second for Clarke Central, 1 out. And the 0-1 delivery is down in the dirt. Nice stop there by Taiwan Hill. Checks back at second, gets Fairbairn to head all the way back, and they will do this one all over again. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Seems preoccupied with Fairbairn, and Fairbairn takes off, and Cuts, swings, and Fairbairn is out by a long shot. Looked like a little bit of a hit and run put on by Coach over there. Didn't work out too well. Fairbairn caught stealing on his attempt at third. Now you got 2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Hunter Cutts. Elliott Gower does follow Fairbairn and reaches second base, so he's on over at second. Two balls, 2 strikes here on Fairbairn, or on on Hunter Cutts. Cuts the dribbler over to second. Scott Fields throws over to first, and that will do it for the bottom of the first inning. Pretty quick first inning there. Only 1 hit, and that came in the top of the first by Jordan Scott, leadoff batter. But now we got Reed Hill, the DH today for Salem. Cleanup hitter. Scoba deals. That ball is in there on the inside corner for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. At the top of the second inning. A little off-speed pitch down and away for ball 1. Evens the count. Another ball outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here on Reed Hill. Two-one delivery. That ball's fisted over to first. Gets by Tucker Crumpton. And Hill will head to second. Bonner throws over to second, and he will be in there safely. Isaiah Sims tried to cut that one off. I don't think there would have been a play anyway. But Hill reaches second base on that error. Or that will be scored a hit. Excuse me. So Hill's on at second. Jason Howe steps up to the plate. It's a fly ball. Elliot Gower trying to settle under it, but that ball will head into the stands. Kind of ran out of room right there. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitcher, Jason Howe. Scoba checks him at second and delivers. That ball is way outside. Looked like he tried to throw a little curveball. It just got away from him a little bit. 1-1 count. Steps off. Hill's getting his attention over there at second base. Kind of juke moves a little bit, and Scoba delivers, and that ball's hit Hunter Cuts Fields and throws over Crumpton. And that will be the first out of the inning. Hill will advance to third base on that fielder's choice right there. Cuts had no chance to get him at third base. Taiwan Head steps up to the plate, catching today. Runner on third base, only 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Scoba delivers, and that ball is called. Strike 1, low and away. Excuse me. The 0-1 delivery. That ball is flied. Elliot Gower tries, but once again runs out of room. Not much room here behind the circle of home plate. Got probably about 10 feet in each direction before you hit the fence. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Runner on third base for Salem. And the delivery. That ball's hit over to Hunter Cuts. A run will come in, and Cuts throws over to first and will retire Taiwan Head. So Salem now leads 1-0 after that ground ball.
Right fielder, Ian Moon.
Little sacrifice right there. Small ball working it for Salem. 2 outs now. Ball is called strike on the outside corner. Garrett Needham steps up to the plate. Excuse me, this is Ian Moon up to the plate with 2 strikes, and he's called strike 3. And that will do it here in the top of the second inning. 1 run across the board for Salem as they take the lead 1-0, heading to the bottom of the second inning. Oh, they switched. After 1 run came across the board there in the top of the second inning, Clarke Central heads into the dugout to try and get that one back. Had runners on first and second there in the top of the first inning, but Noah Fairbairn gets caught stealing on what looked to be a hit and run. And they only get through their top 4 hitters. Now Luke Bennett steps up to the plate and swings through that first pitch right there from Jason Howell. No balls, 1 strike. Bennett fouls that one back toward the street for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. Howell deals. And once again fouls that one back to the screen. Howell gets in his windup and delivers the 0-2. High and away, ball 1. Still ahead of Luke Bennett here, 1-2. Little nice off-speed pitch there by Howell for strike 3. Got Bennett looking for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 19, Tucker Crumpton.
The 6-hole hitter, Tucker Crumpton, steps up to the plate. Playing first base this afternoon with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Crumpton is out and away for ball 1. The 1-0 from Howell. And Crumpton skies that one to short. Webster gets settled under it and will retire Crumpton for the second out of the inning.
Now batting number 17, Terry McHugh.
Terry McHugh shoots that one into left field on the first pitch. And he will be on with the first Clarke Central hit of the day. Two outs as Jordan Bonner steps up to the plate.
Number 18, right fielder.
Right field today. Terry McHugh over there at first base. And to shorten up his lead here with a left-hander on the mound. Howell comes set. And there goes McHugh. And McHugh will be safe in there at second. Went on first movement. which is exactly what you're supposed to do with a left-hander up there. Howell kind of held his leg up and decided, oh, I should probably throw it over to first, and by the time he did that, McHugh was in there at second with the stolen base. Does a little spin move, and McHugh gets back into second safely. No throw. Jordan Bonner still awaiting the first pitch of his at-bat. Howell comes set and delivers. Bonner flies that one toward the street once again. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning here at Clarke Central High School. McHugh over there at second gets his lead. And the 0-1 is lined to center field. Zach Bailey doesn't even have to move, and that ball will retire the side. No runs, no 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base for Clarke Central after 2 full innings. Clarke Central trails 1-0.
Starting it off for the Seminoles, number 3, Adam Hood.
Adam Hood steps up to the plate. Swings at that first pitch. No balls, 1 strike. No balls, 2 strikes here on Adam Hood. Top of the 3rd inning. No balls, 2 strikes here on Adam Hood. Scoba deals. A little off-speed pitch. It's fisted toward the dugout fence, and we will do that one all over again. Hood awaits the 0-2. That ball is just a bit outside for ball 1. The 1-2 swings right through that one for strike 3. Hits off the umpire's mask. He has to step back a little bit. Looks like Hood thinks he may have fouled that one off at the plate. Umpire's making sure he's okay. Coaches come on over. Looks like it may have got through his mask a little bit. He's checking his nose to see if it's maybe bleeding. Checking his mask to see if it's broken. Back to baseball. It looks like he did call that a foul ball. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Adam Hood. And the delivery from Scoba. Hood shoots that one into the right center gap, and Patrick Matthews sprints on over there and will retire Hood for the first out of the inning.
Now batting left fielder, number 12, Terry Rocker.
Terrian Walker steps up to the plate. Left fielder this afternoon with 1 out. First pitch is in there for strike 1. The 0-1 delivery. And Walker swings at that one in the dirt and is not too pleased with himself. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Leadoff batter Jordan Scott is on deck. And swinging, strike 3. Ball is a good 1.5 feet outside, and Darren Walker swung at it and shakes his head as he walks back to the dugout. That is the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting number 13, Jordan Scott.
Jordan Scott steps up to the plate with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. Ball is outside for ball 1. The 1-0 delivery. That ball is shot over toward the street. Just misses a car over there. 1-1. Scott had a single in his first at-bat. Was caught stealing, though, as he tried to take second base. Nice throw by Jack Elliott Gower there. The 1-1. Nice stop there by Gower behind the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two-one delivery. Scoba's a bit outside right there and gets by Gower. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Seminoles over the Clarke Central Gladiators. 3-1 delivery from Scoba. That ball is low and away for ball 4. Scott reaches on a walk. 2-out walk at that. Josh Webster steps up to the plate. Flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Showed bunt and then pulled that back and hit it on out to center field. The outfield is playing him straight on right now. Squares around a bunt once again, pulls away. Ball is in there for ball 1. The 1-0 delivery from Scoba as he checks first is in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. Scott takes his lead over at first. Scoba steps off. Shadows starting to creep in between the pitcher's mound and home plate. The 1-1. Webster shoots that one to left field, right inside the fair territory line. Scott rounds second, will head to third, and will be in safely. Webster will be in there with a double. Salem's got something going here with 2 outs, runners on second and third. And their 3-hole hitter, Zach Bailey, stepping up to the plate, grounded out to short in his first at-bat. Got to close the gate down there in left field. Don't want a ball rolling through there. Once we get that squared away, we will be back for the first pitch to Zach Bailey. If Bailey reaches base, Reed Hill will step up to the plate with who had a single in his first at-bat and also came around to score the only run of the ball game. Scobus comes set, checks his runners, and throws a little curveball in there for ball 1. Kept that one a little up and away. Not what you want to do with a curveball. You want to keep that thing low. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. Nice fastball there. That ball is fouled away over the street. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-handed hitting, Bailey awaits the 1-1. Ball 2 down in the dirt. Elliot Gower really working behind the plate there, keeping everything in front of him. Can't afford to let another run come across the plate. Salem's got 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. A 2-1 count. And Bailey grounds that ball to the second base gap, and both runs will come in to score. Bailey will be on with a single and reach to second base after the throw comes to the plate. So 2-run score on that single right there. Salem now leads Clarke Central 3-0. A little bit of a 2-out rally for the Seminoles right now. 4-hole hitter Reed Hill steps up to the plate. Singled and came around to score in his first at-bat. Calls time at the plate. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Hill. Bailey's on at second. A little bit of daylight there, and Scoba steps off. The 0-1 delivery. Curveball inside, didn't cross the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning. 2 runs across here for the Salem Seminoles in this inning, extending their lead to 3-0. The 1-1 is in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Hill. The DH this afternoon. Waits the 1-2 delivery, and that ball is fouled off at the plate. He's in there battling. Scoba thought he threw a pretty good pitch right there. Thought he'd be able to get Hill chasing that one, and Hill was able to foul that one off and stays alive. That ball is inside, gets away from Gower, and Bailey would be over to third base. Looked like it was a straight steal by him. So you got a runner on third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning. Two is high. Looked like another little curveball right there. Curveball slider. Something with a little bit of break. But left it up. Now you got a full count, 2 outs. The DH, Reed Hill, who had a single in his first at-bat. And that ball is strike 3. Hill thought that ball was off the plate a little bit, was already starting to walk down to first base, but will be rung up. After that inning, we had 2 hits. 2 runners came around to score. Salem extended their lead to 3-0 over Clarke Central. We're going to take a look at the Region 8 5A Player of the Week, Michael Gaddis from Gainesville right now.
Line drive down the right field line. That's Michael Geddes for the Red Elephants. He's going to go for 2. It's down in the corner. He's going to stroll into second easily with a leadoff double. Kicks, delivers. There goes Geddes to third. Throw down is in time but high, and he's going to slide under the tag. 25th stolen base of the season for Michael Geddes. Matthews kicks, delivers. Fastball skied out into right center. Bonner back to the wall. It's going to be over his fence and up against the wall. He knocks off the padding around the top of the wall, gets it in, and that's going to be a stand-up triple. Ball gets away. Pitch on the way from Bennett. Ground ball sharply hit past Fairbairn out into left. And that's a single for Michael Geddes. Out of the wind-up, delivers, flied out to Sims, who looks like he may have lost in the lights for a second, recovers and makes the catch. 2 down.
And once again, that was a look at the Region 8 5A Player of the Week from last week. So now we're headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning as Clarke Central comes up to the plate with Isaiah Sims, their 9-hole hitter today, down 3-0 after 2.5 innings. Only have 1 hit, which they got last inning from Terry McHugh. 2-out hit, but he was stranded at second base after Bonner lined out to center. Howell gets ready to deal the first pitch. And that ball is in there for strike 1. Sims is looking at that one. The leadoff hitter each inning, you should try and make the pitcher pitch a few more pitches and let everyone else see what he's throwing out there. And Sims skies that one back, and that will be foul for no balls, 2 strikes. Slight breeze, looks like it's coming in from right field. Scattered clouds. No more shadows, though, and that ball is up and away for ball 1. Lefty Howell just kept that little off-speed pitch up and away. Wasn't able to get Sims chasing. Sims awaits Howell's 1-2 delivery. That ball is up right around the letters, but no call. 2 balls, 2 strikes, excuse me. Fairbairn waits on deck. The 2-2. Sims fouls that one off toward the Clarke Central bullpen. Sims stays battling right now. Staying tough at the plate. Trying to put a ball in play and make the defense make an out. The 2-2 from Howell. Nice curveball there, not getting the call. That ball was held. Looked like it was a little up in the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The full count delivery. And Sims shoots that one to left center gap. Bailey dives for that ball, but it will get by him, and Sims is heading to second. Round second, heads to third, and Sims will be in there safely with a triple. A leadoff triple for Isaiah Sims. Bailey had a really, really good jump on that ball. It looked like he was going to track that one down. Ball got over his head. Even with that wind blowing in, ball got over his head and he laid out but wasn't tall enough to reach that one. And Sims took advantage of that, and that ball went up against the fence, and Sims knew from the get-go that he was headed to third base. So Sims is on third with a triple. And Noah Fairbairn steps up to the plate. Reach base on his first at-bat. Looking to bring in Sims over there at third, who's been coming around with his hitting and RBIs lately. Just given a little bit of an opportunity here and showed it right there with that big triple to left center gap. The 1-0 delivery to Fairbairn. Fairbairn watches that one as that one crosses over the outside corner. The 1-1 from Howell. Nice curveball in there for strike two. Started that one off the outside corner and it broke right across the plate toward Fairbairn's back right knee. And the 1-2 is dribbled over to the Salem dugout. As a right-handed hitter, those left-handed curveballs come in right down at your back ankle is what it seems like. Really, really tough pitch to hit. The 1-2 delivery from Howell with Sims over there at third. Fairbairn shoots that one over to shortstop. Webster fields and throws over to first, and Sims will score. Fairbairn is out at first. But Fairbairn with the RBI. Now it is 3-1 Salem with one out. Patrick Matthews steps up to the plate, hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. First pitch to him, he kind of pool cues that one out to short. Webster fields, throws over to first, and Michael White is not able to field that one, and Patrick Matthews is on first right now. Jack Elliott Gower steps up to the plate with one out in the bottom of the third inning. One run across the board for Clarke Central, and Patrick Matthews over there at first. He reached on that error. Like I said, the wind is blowing from right to left, sort of in toward home plate. Howell has to check the runner over at first, throws over. Matthews is in there, back safely. Didn't look like that good of a move. He was just trying to show him that he was watching him. But with a lefty on the mound, you go at first movement. It's a little stride step and throws, and that will be in there for strike one to Gower. Hell comes sets. Picks his leg up this time and throws another little curveball. Taiwan head lets that ball get away from him, and Patrick Matthews is down to second base. Looked like a little bit of a curveball that may have just hit off the heel of Head's glove there behind the plate and bounced off to the left, and by the time he had picked it up, Patrick Matthews is already down at second. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the third inning. 2-run lead here for Salem. Patrick Matthews down at second. The 1-1 delivery is high and tight for ball 2. Howell steps off. Two balls, 1 strike here on Jack Elliott Gower. And he swings right through that pitch down and in for strike 2. Two now. 1 out. Elliott Gower waits the pitch from Howell. And he shoots that one to the gap that was made there at short. Patrick Matthews rounds third, and he will come in to score, and Elliott Gower's on with a run-scoring single. It looked like Josh Webster was checking the runner at second and wasn't able to get back to where he normally fields the ball. That ball was right into that gap right there. Hunter Cutt steps up to the plate, grounded out in his first at-bat. Clarke Central now down only one run, 3-2 here in the bottom of the third inning after 2 runs have come across this inning. Howe comes set, and Cutt shoots that one out to center, but that will be 1 out. And the throw back to first almost got Jack Elliott Gower. I think Elliott Gower thought there were 2 outs right there as he headed down to second on that line drive to center. He was able to get right around the tag by the first baseman, Michael Wyatt, and back in there safely.
Now batting left fielder, Luke Bennett.
Luke Bennett steps up to the plate, struck out looking in his first at-bat. Man, Clarke Central is very, very lucky that that wasn't a double play right there. Elliott Gower not paying too much attention right there to how many outs were in the inning. Could have costed his team another out. Bennett dribbles that one down to the Salem dugout for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs to Luke Bennett. Jack Elliott Gower over there at first. He takes off on first movement. And once again, he will be in there safely. The ball gets into the outfield. Nice backup there by Terrian Walker. Elliott Gower not able to advance any further. But Clarke Central playing small ball here. Doing a little bit of a sacrificing, a few steals, and getting themselves in position to score runs. Elliott Gower went on first movement, which they had done earlier in the game when Terry McHugh stole second in the bottom of the second inning. So Elliott Gower on at second with 2 outs. No 0-1 count here. 0-2 count now after that pitch in there called for strike 2 on Luke Bennett. Nice curveball there by the lefty. And Jack Elliott Gower causing a little chaos down at second base. Gaining the attention of Hal over at the pitcher's mound. Elliott Gower gets a pretty decent sized lead over there at second base. And that ball gets into center field. But once again, Elliott Gower will not be able to advance. Josh Webster deked like he was going to go to second base to get that throw, and Hal thought that's what was going to happen, so he threw it right to where Webster should have been, but that ball gets through to the outfield. Nothing hurt though. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. And that ball bounces right in front of the plate, and Elliott Gower not able to advance. Nice stop there by Taiwan. Head behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Howell comes set. Checks his runner at second and delivers. Another dribbler over toward the Salem dugout. Looked like it may have hit off his ankle or toe. Walking this one off. The 1-2 delivery from Howell. That is not in there. Ball 2. Nice curveball that looked like it broke right over the middle of the plate. May have been a bit low for the umpire right there behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning. 2 runs across the board. Lots of twos this inning for Clarke Central. 2-2 delivery. Bennett fouls that one off once again. Just a little bit behind the pitch. He knows he's not much off it. Swatted his bat down after that last one and steps right back into the box and ready for the 2-2 from Howe. And swings right through the 2-2 offering. And he goes down. It's 2 strikeouts on the day for Bennett. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. 2 runners left on base for Clarke Central as they cut into the Salem lead 3-2.
That this game and others can be viewed online at ghsa.tv/Clarke Central. That's ghsa.tv/Clarke Central. Starting it off for the Seminoles, number 16, Jason Howell.
All right. Jason Howell just was up to the plate and hit a little fly ball to the second baseman, Isaiah Sims, and Sims settled under it and retired him for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out here for Clarke Central. Taiwan Head steps up to the plate now. Looks at that first pitch by Luke Scoba. Outside, ball 1. The 1-0 delivery is fouled off at the plate. A little bit in front of that pitch right there. And 1-1 count. 1 out. Top of the 4th inning here at Clarke Central High School. Time called at the plate. Head steps up to the plate now and awaits the 1-1. Nice shot over there to left field and will drop right in front of Luke Bennett and heads on with a 1-out single for Salem. Heads now 1 for 2 on the day.
Right fielder Ian Moon.
Ian Moon stepping up to the plate. Struck out in his first at bat back in the 2nd inning. Scoba comes set and checks his runner at first. Moon turns and squares, and that ball bounces off Elliot Gower's glove, and Head will be in there safely at second base. One ball, no strikes, runner at second base. The ball is grounded toward the Salem dugout. Players over there are pretty excited when they were able to field the foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ian Moon. Moon looks on. Scoba checks his runner at second and delivers. That ball is down and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Moon bunts it, lays it down. Scoba fields, throws over to first. And that will get by Tucker Crumpton up against the fence, and Taiwan Head will come around to score on the error by Luke Scoba. Just kind of air bailed that one over to first base. No chance by Tucker Crumpton to field that one. Ian Moss on with the single. Or Ian Moon, excuse me. Adam Hood steps up to the plate with 1 out, squares around a bunt, pulls it back. Ball 1. Now a 2-run lead for Salem right now over Clarke Central, 4-2. Top of the 4th inning. The lights are just coming on. Still quite a bit of daylight right now. The sun hasn't quite set yet. Once again, squares around a bunt, pulls back and swings, and that ball is in there for strike 1. Scoba checks his runner at first and deals the 1-1. Once again, ball's outside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Hood flied to center field in his first at-bat. 2-1 delivery, and that ball is dribbled once again down to the Salem dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here on the 8-hole hitter, Adam Hood. Scoba checks his runner before dealing his 2-2. Nice off-speed pitch there, but left up in the zone for ball 3. He's been doing that quite a bit today, keeping that curveball and his changeup, keeping that up around the letters. And he's got to get that one down or he's going to be hurt. And that is strike 3 right on the outside corner. Caught Adam Hood looking.
Batting number 12, Terry and Rocker.
Terry and Walker stepping up to the plate. Struck out in his first at-bat today. That is not in there. That is ball 1. Umpire's been kind of sporadic with his zone. And the runner takes off, and Elliott Gower throws down, and that will get Ian Moon stealing. Nice throw there by Jack Elliott Gower behind the plate. Came up out of his crouch and fired it down to Hunter Cutts at second base. Two hits, 1 run, no errors. No runners left on base after 3.5, 4-2, Salem. Now we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from last week's Clarke Central Varsity Player of the Week, Jack Elliott Gower. 2 outs here on the 3-hole hitter, Jack Elliott Gower. Gower shoots that one into the right center gap, and that will be cut off by the center fielder Eric Morgan, and Gower heads to second base and will be in with a double. He was thinking double right out of the box. Rodriguez goes, throw down to second, and Rodriguez is out by a mile. Nice throw there by Jack Elliott Gower. Gets him at second base. There was no doubt about that one.
There goes Geddes down to second, and he pops up a bunt. Catch it and throw to first, and you got the double play. And they got it. So Geddes takes off for second as Griffith lays down a bunt, but pops it up to Jack Elliott Gower.
And Gowers hits that ball to left field. One run will come in, and he will be on first with an RBI single. Central still battling here. 8-4 now.
Starting off for the Gladiators, number 19, Tucker Crumpton.
As we head into this bottom of the fourth inning, Clarke Central trails by 2 runs. Salem picked up a run in the past half inning, and Tucker Crumpton now steps up to the plate, flied out to shortstop in his first at bat. Howell still in there and throws a little off-speed pitch, a little curveball it looked like, for ball 1. The 1-0 delivery. Crumpton fists that one to third. Adam Hood fields it and throws over to first. Nice stretch over there by Michael Wyatt, and will retire Tucker Crumpton for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 17, Terry McHugh.
Terry McHugh steps up to the plate off a single in his first at bat. Also stole a base. The DH this afternoon, and Howell wastes no time and deals his first pitch, and McHugh swings at that one and right off the outside corner. The 0-1 delivery. And yes, Terry McHugh did offer at that one, and that will be strike 2. And he's been warming up out there in the bullpen. Maybe going to come into the game this afternoon, replace Scoba on the mound. The 0-2 delivery from Howell. That ball is right off the outside corner. Looked like a little bit of a backdoor curveball is what he was trying to get right there, but wasn't getting the call from the umpire. The 1-2. And McHugh swings right through that one and goes down. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning for Clarke Central.
18, right fielder, Jordan Bonner.
Jordan Bonner stepping up to the plate. Right fielder. Flew out to center, or actually I should say lined out to center field in his first at bat. Kind of hit it toward the right center gap. And this time he does fly toward center field. Webster goes back, but Bailey calls him off and comes in and retires. Jordan Bonner for the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Clarke Central Gladiators. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base after 4 full innings. Clarke Central trails 4-2. Terrian Walker up to the plate in the top of the 5th inning for Salem.
Back up for the Seminoles, number 12.
He was up to the plate when Ian Moon was caught stealing to end the last inning for Salem. So we will get a brand new count and get another chance at this at bat. Scoba deals the first pitch, and that would be in there. Walker just looking at that one. The 0-1 delivery from Scoba. And Walker flies that one to short. Hunter Cutts gets under it and will retire Walker for the first out of the inning. Cutts taking command of the infield, I should say, over there. Ball was on the second base side of the bag, and he called him off and said, "I want this," and retired him himself. 1 out, top of the 5th inning. This game's just flying along right now. Back to the top of the order for the Salem Seminoles. Jordan Scott came around and scored after being walked in his second at-bat. He's 1 for 1 on the day, singled back in the first inning, and the ball is high and tight for ball 1. Elliot Gower shakes his head as he walks back to the rubber. And right back in for the 1-0. Down and away for ball 2. Terry McHugh is indeed warming up out there in the Clarke Central bullpen. It is ball 3. It's Jordan Scott. It seems like Scoba's getting a little bit frustrated out there, not getting the calls he wants, and then that ball is in there for strike 1. Excuse me. Yeah, he's not really getting all the calls he wants this afternoon, but he's also leaving quite a few balls up in the zone and out in the zone, and not really putting himself in a position to get ahead in the counts. And right there, he walks leadoff batter Jordan Scott once again. Scott will be on first with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Shortstop Josh Webster steps up to the plate. Doubled down the left field line in his second at-bat of the day. Came around to score the third run for the Seminoles in this ball game. Scott takes his lead over at first. Looks like he might be going, and he is. Another hit and run put on. And Webster fouls that one off down toward the street over there, down the left field line. The 0-1 delivery. Scott gets his lead, does not take off this time. That ball is just a bit outside for ball 1. 1-1 count. One out. And Josh Webster, number 1, has stepped up to the plate. Scott takes his lead over at first, and he jukes like he's going, and Webster shoots that one down the left field line once again. Scott hesitates and heads to third, and he will be safe over there at third base. Noah Fairbairn looked like he had taken the bag, or guarded the bag like he should, and just got taken out over there by Jordan Scott. Scott slid a little bit late, and Fairbairn held onto the ball and is wondering why that wasn't called an out. In the meantime, Josh Webster does head down to second base on that single. It will be a single. So right now we got Jordan Scott over at third and Josh Webster over at second base, and Clarke Central coach is out arguing this call, maybe asking for a little bit of help from the other umpire, and that's exactly what he is doing. Home plate umpire heads out to the other one, and they will discuss this. Maybe the other one had a little bit better angle on the ball or on the play, but it sure looked like home plate umpire was right there, and they're not going to reverse this call. Coach is not happy at all. That looked, at least from my angle, to be the ball was there in time, and Fairbairn was in front of the bag, and it looked like there was no way that Jordan Scott would have been in there safely, but who knows, maybe snuck his foot in and was able to touch the bag right before Fairbairn tagged him. But nonetheless, 2 runners on with only 1 out. And Zach Bailey hits that one to left field. Luke Bennett gets under it, fields it, and throws home. And Scott will be in to score the 5th run of the game for the Salem Seminoles on a sacrifice fly by Zach Bailey.
Number 5, Reed Hill.
Reed Hill steps up to the plate, the cleanup hitter this afternoon. Webster not able to advance on that last sacrifice. Two outs in the top of the 5th inning. Scoba deals, and a hit and run put on right there. Hit toward left field. Webster was off, so he will be in to score the 6th run of the ball game, and that is a single for Reed Hill on the first pitch of his at-bat. So once again, Scott and Webster come around to score after getting on. And coach is out talking to Scoba, and he will relieve Scoba of his duties tonight. Terry McHugh will come on in relief. Scoba lasted 4 2/3 innings, allowing 6 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. In the top of the 5th inning, it is 6-2, Salem Seminoles.
Taking the mound for the Gladiators, Terry McHugh. Batting for the Seminoles, Jason Howell.
So McHugh comes on in relief of Scoba, inherits 1 runner on first base right now. Hill is over there on at first for Salem. Jason Howell, the pitcher, is up to the plate, and first thing that McHugh does is he checks his runner over at first. He's got 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning, 2 runs across the board for the Seminoles. They lead 6-2, and McHugh delivers that one high for ball 1. And that ball is fisted, a little Texas leaguer right over Hunter Cuts' head at shortstop. And Jason Howell is in there with a single. Hill will advance to second base. And the Seminoles have runners on first and second and 2 outs. And it looks like Akil Badu will head over to first base and pinch run for the pitcher, Jason Howell.
Now batting the catcher, Taiwan Head.
Taiwan Head steps up to the plate, singled in his last at-bat, stole a base, and came around to score. He's 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out back in the 2nd inning. He's got runners on first and second right now and 2 outs. The first pitch to him is down the third base line, and someone on the Salem team just barehanded that one and throws it right back to McHugh on the mound. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 0-1 delivery. That ball is hit toward left field. Luke Bennett will field it and throw on. He will not throw home. Reed Hill will come around from second to score. Didn't look like Luke Bennett thought that was going to happen. He came up and threw right to Hunter Cutts, the cutoff man, and by the time Cutts turned around, there was no chance of getting Hill as he crossed the plate for the 7th run of the ball game for the Salem Seminoles.
Now batting number 6, Cole Gibson.
Howell will head to second base, and Head will be on first. Or excuse me, Howell is not running. It is Badu is running over there at second. 2 outs. First pitch to Ian Moon. Excuse me, Cole Gibson is up to the plate, batting in place of Ian Moon. Cole Gibson shoots that one into center. Patrick Matthews fields and will throw it home. And there will not be a play at the plate. Badu comes around to score and now leads the game 8-2 over Clarke Central. They're just trading places out there. Runners on first and second once again.
Third baseman, Adam Hood.
Adam Hood now up to the plate for the Seminoles. 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a flyout. Clarke Central really needs to get back into the dugout and get those bats moving once again. Ball's fouled off the fence. And there will be a pinch runner at second base. Uriel James will come in to run for Taiwan Head. Probably giving Head a little bit more time to put on his gear behind the plate. McHugh steps off. It looked like they may have had a little bit of a double steal. Looked like right there the runners looking like they were going. And that ball is fouled off the fence once again. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4 runs across the board here in the top of the 5th inning for the Salem Seminoles. Now lead Clarke Central 8-2. You got Cole Gibson over there at first base, getting a pretty decent sized lead since Tucker Crumpton's not holding him on. But he can't really go anywhere unless Uriel James goes somewhere at second base. He's got someone keeping him in check anyway. The 0-2 delivery from McHugh is not in there. Ball 1. A little bit low and away it looked like. And the 1-2 is dribbled over to Fairbairn. Fairbairn fields and throws over to first, and that ball gets by Tucker Crumpton. 1 run will come in, and Crumpton fields, and Cole Gibson will be over at third base. But pinch runner Badu will come around to score, or Uriel James, excuse me, will come around to score. As the 5th run of this inning for Salem. Now have runners on second and third after that little bit of an errant throw by Fairbairn, but probably should have been caught over there by Tucker Crumpton at first. Tyron Walker back up to the plate this inning. He led off the inning. He flew out to shortstop on the first pitch. The Seminoles have batted around this inning and are still threatening a little bit with runners on second and third. 5 runs across the inning in this top of the 5th. The 0-1 delivery kind of bunts at that one, kind of pushes it a little bit foul, and now an 0-2 count. He tried to get a little running start at that one. Maybe a little safety squeeze is what they were trying to do right there. But an 0-2 count on their 9-hole hitter, Terrian Walker. 0 for 2 on the day. And he looks at that one right down the middle for strike 3. Clarke Central gets out of that inning, but not before the Seminoles put up 5 runs and extend their lead 9-2 over the Gladiators. Isaiah Sims is coming up to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning for Clarke Central. 1 for 1 on the day with a huge triple back in the 3rd inning. Hit a shot to the left center field gap, got right over the head of Zach Bailey, who laid out but wasn't able to come in with the grab, and Sims ended up coming around to score the second run of the ball game, for Clarke Central, and he looks at that first pitch from Hal for ball 1. The 1-0 delivery is down in the dirt for ball 2. The 2-0 delivery is high and away. 3 balls, no strikes on the 9-hole hitter Isaiah Sims for Clarke Central. Looks like we got Ryan Reed warming up out there for the Seminoles. Looks like they might be hoping that Hal can get through this inning without letting up another run, but not what he wants to start off the inning. Isaiah Sims reaches base off a leadoff walk. Now we're back up to the top of the order with Noah Fairbairn. Reached on an error in his first at bat and hit a little sacrifice that scored a run in his second. Sims takes his lead over at first and a little stride step, and Fairbairn shoots that one toward the shortstop gap, gets by Josh Webster, and Fairbairn is on with a single. Sims moves up to second base, and Clarke Central's got something going right now. Nobody out, runners on first and second. Patrick Matthews stepping up to the plate. Reached on an error back in the 3rd inning and came around to score the second run of the ball game for Clarke Central. They could use a few runs right here, get a few back. He's only got 3 more at bats in this ball game. Bottom of the 5th inning, Clarke Central trails 9-2. Runners on first and second. Hal checks Sims at second and deals. Called strike on the outside corner. The 0-1 delivery from Hal. Matthews hits a little ground ball down left field line, but foul. No balls, 2 strikes here on the 2-hole hitter, Patrick Matthews. Runners on first and second for Clarke Central. Howell checks Sims at second. Spins, and Sims is back in there diving safely. No throw. Howell comes set. And the 0-2, and that ball is shot down toward the left field street over there. No cars hit, no damage done. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Clarke Central with 4 hits in the ball game. The 0-2. Matthews flies that one back toward the street. The 0-2 delivery from Howe. Checks Sims at second. Ball is high. Head was kind of standing up out of his crouch right there, asking for the ball right up around the letters, but ended up being right around the eyes and was not able to get Matthews chasing that one. Matthews awaits the 1-2 from Howe. Curveball left up in the zone, not getting the call from the umpire. Probably started right around the letters and broke down, but a little bit too late as it crossed the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Matthews swings right through that one and will go down on strikes, but Isaiah Sims and Noah Fairbairn are able to reach second and third and second respectively, and as the ball got away from Taiwan Head. So Clarke Central's got runners in scoring position with 1 out. Patrick Matthews, even though he struck out, he kind of did what he was supposed to do and get the runners over. Jack Elliott Gower steps up to the plate. 1 ball on him as he watches the first pitch go high. The 1-0 delivery. He's down in the dirt for ball 2. Nice stop back there by Head. Out of the windup, Howell delivers. That ball is not in there. That is 3 balls, no strikes. Ball didn't miss by much. Maybe a bit high. Definitely crossed the plate on the outside corner. 3-0 count to the 3-hole hitter, Jack Elliott Gower. And Gower does swing away. Hits the ball to Zach Bailey in center. Bailey settles under it. Sims heads home. Will check up and head back to third. Kind of a little bluff move to see what kind of arm Bailey has out there. And man, he threw a cannon. It was a good thing that Isaiah Sims held up at third. It was a nice throw out there by Bailey. It's in center field. Hunter Cutts up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. A line out and a ground out. Lefty on lefty right now. Clarke Central would love to get one of these 2 runs in. Curveball there, high and in it looked like, and first pitch to him was ball 1. And they will not even throw to Hunter Cutts. They will just intentionally walk him to load the bases with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So they walk the 4-hole hitter, Hunter Cutts, to come up to Luke Bennett, who struck out twice on the day, once looking and once swinging. And Bennett gets a little dribbler down to third, and that worked out well for the Seminoles as Adam Hood was able to step on third and retire Noah Fairbairn, and that will do it for the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base, excuse me. After 5 full innings, the Seminoles lead 9-2. Cedars up what?
Now batting for the Seminoles, number 13, Jordan Scott.
Jordan Scott stepping up to the plate. Checks his swing, and that will be in there for strike 1. The second pitch is in there out of the zone for ball 1. 1-1 count. Let's take a look at some of the other scores around the region. Gainesville is now beating Loganville 3-1, and Cedar is beating Heritage 5-0. Clarke Central will head over to Cedar Shoals on Wednesday, and then once again we'll come back here on Friday and take on that same Cedar team. A 1-2 count here on the leadoff batter, Jordan Scott. 1 for 1 on the day with 2 walks. Came around and scored on both of those walks today. So a 2-2 count. Terry McHugh on the mound, not wasting any time, getting right into a groove. Time is called to the plate by Scott. Maybe bug flew right into his eye. Two is down and away. Ball 3, full count. Once again, Jordan Scott, the leadoff batter, is being really patient and letting the pitches come to him. And if he gets walked, he always comes around to score. And once again, that is another walk, 3rd straight for Jordan Scott. Josh Webster, shortstop, steps up to the plate. A double and a single in his past 2 at-bats. Came around and scored on both of those right after Jordan Scott scored. Scott takes his lead over at first, and he takes off and checks back and does not go to second. Josh Webster swung right through that first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Scott takes his lead over at first. Webster turns around, bunts it foul. Not too happy with himself. Knows he should probably get that one down. No balls, 2 strikes here on Josh Webster. Jordan Scott over at first base after his 3rd straight walk this afternoon. The 0-2 is foul tipped right into the mitt of Jack Elliott Gower. And Webster is retired for the 2nd time tonight. one out here in the top of the 6th inning. 9-2 lead for the Seminoles. Scott takes his lead over at first. McHugh deals. Scott thought about going. That ball's in there for strike one. Scott has been kind of deking like he's going to go to second and then pulls up and definitely gaining the attention of both coaches and McHugh, as well as Jack Elliott Gower behind the plate. McHugh gets right back into his windup, and that ball is outside for ball one. 1-1 count here on the 3-hole hitter, Zach Bailey. McHugh checks the runner over at first and steps off. The 1-2 is just a bit outside. Ball two. Or the 1-1, excuse me, was just a bit outside. Now we got a 2-1 count with only one out. Top of the 6th inning. Crumpton holding him on, and Scott takes off. And another little hit and run, and Luke Bennett is heading over to foul ground and will not be able to field that fly ball. It looked like he may have had a play on it if he kept running hard, but concrete wall out there, and he didn't want to risk his body for only one out that was in foul territory. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Scott's still over there at first base. Has acted like he's going to steal a few times this afternoon. And Zach Bailey swings right through that fastball down around the knees for strike 3. It's 2 straight strikeouts now for Terry McHugh. 2 outs. Cleanup hitter Rita Hill steps up to the plate. 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles and a strikeout. Came around to score twice. And Scott takes off, and Gower throws down to second. And once again, Scott is out. Caught stealing. It's 2 times tonight that he's been caught stealing second base. And that is the 3rd runner that Jack Elliott Gower has thrown out behind the plate. What a night for him back there. After 5.5, Salem leads Clarke Central 9-2.
Starting it off for the Gladiators, number 19, Tucker Crumpton.
Tucker Crumpton stepping up to the plate for Clarke Central. Really needs to get something going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They're down 7 runs after giving up a 5 spot back in the top of the 5th inning. Tucker Crumpton is 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a fly out as he awaits the first pitch of his at-bat. That ball is a little off-speed pitch, it looked like, and right off the outside corner for ball 1. Terry McHugh is on deck, followed by Jordan Bonner, and if anyone gets on, Isaiah Sims. Crumpton looks at that 1-0 for ball 2. 2-0 delivery from Hal. And Crumpton shoots that one back, and that one will be out of here. That is a shot over the scoreboard by Tucker Crumpton. And cuts into the Salem lead 9-3 now. Man, that ball was hit very hard. Looked like a little bit of a hanging curveball, and he was able to keep that one. He was able to put that one way over the fence.
Number 17, Terry McHugh.
Leadoff home run by Tucker Crumpton, and Terry McHugh now steps up to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day, and it's a little dribbler. Adam Hood fields it at third and throws over, and Terry McHugh will be retired for the first out of the inning. And we will have a new pitcher for Salem. Number 8, Ryan Reed will come into the game. Jason Howell's night is over. Howell finishes the game, 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors. Really pitched a pretty decent game out there, and now Clarke Central will take a look at the lanky a lanky right-handed pitcher from the lefty that they just had been seeing.
Now batting, number 18, Jordan Bonner.
Jordan Bonner stepping up to the plate to face Ryan Reed, the new pitcher for the Salem Seminoles. And the first pitch to Bonner is down in the dirt for ball 1. A little bit different look for Clarke Central now. They had a lefty who kind of threw a lot of off-speed pitches, and now bring in the tall, lanky right-hander who somewhat of a herky-jerky motion right now, and now got a 1-1 count on Jordan Bonner. Ball 2 down in the dirt. Nice stop back there by Head. The 2-1 delivery. Bonner shoots that one over to short. Nice play over there by Webster, who throws over to first, and Bonner is retired. Webster fielded that one with a little backhand, it looked like, and skipped up and was able to field it and throw it on over to first. Isaiah Sims stepping up to the plate now. 1 for 1 on the day with a triple back in the 3rd inning. Reached on a walk in his last plate appearance. First pitch to him is high, ball 1. The 1-0 delivery from Reed is high and away for ball 2. 1 run across the board for Clarke Central this inning after a huge home run by Tucker Crumpton. Hit it right over the scoreboard here at AB's Weathersby Field. And the 2-0 is in there for strike 1. The 2-1 delivery. Sims looks at that one, called strike 2 on the outside corner, a little bit low and away. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning, Clarke Central trails by 6 runs. And Sims hits that one out to the right center field gap, and Bailey shades over and retires Sims for the 3rd out of the inning. After a big home run by Tucker Crumpton, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, no runners left on base for Clarke Central. They still trail by 6 runs. We're going to take a look at the highlights from the JV Player of the Week for Clarke Central, Garrett Holland. Reed Hill stepping up for the Seminoles here in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to him was called strike 1. Second pitch was low in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 count now. On the cleanup hitter, Reed Hill. Hill shoots that one to left field. A nice play out there by Luke Bennett, who shaded to his left and was able to get under it and retire Hill for the 1st out of the inning. An update on the Cedar Shoals Heritage game. Cedar leads 5-4 now. Ryan Reed stepping up to the plate for the first time tonight. 1 out now. First pitch to him was called strike 1. Reed shoots that one, hits off the light pole and comes back into play. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Little dribbler down the first base line, right in play, and Tucker Crumpton tells McHugh he's got it and retires Ryan Reed over there at first for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 quick outs for Clarke Central here in the top of the 7th inning. They want to get back into the dugout and try to even up this ball game or take the lead and end up winning it. Taiwan Head steps up to the plate. Looks at the first pitch for ball 1. Head is 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles, 2 runs scored. He did ground out back in the 2nd inning on his first plate appearance. And hits a ground ball short. Nice play over there by Hunter Cutts. Hunter Cutts is not able get up and make a play in time as Speedy Head makes it down to first. We will have a pinch runner. Uriel James will be on once again to run for head over there at first. Cole Gibson now up to the plate for Salem. 1 ball on him. 2 outs. Uriel James over there at first base. The 1-0 was down in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 delivery from McHugh. And Gibson shoots that one to left. Luke Bennett shades over to his left once again and retires Gibson for the 3rd out of the inning. No damage done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no runner, 1 runner left on base, excuse me. After 6.5, Salem leads 9-3. Clarke Central really needs to get something going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're down to Clarke Central's last half inning. They need to put up 6 runs to extend the game. They're down 9-3 here to Salem Seminoles. They do have the top of their order coming up. Noah Fairbairn, 1 for 2 on the day. Reached on error back in the 1st. Sacrifice in this 3rd and singled back in the 5th inning. First pitch to him was ball 1. Reed deals the 1-0. That ball is in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gladiators don't really have time on their side. They need to get some runs across the board here quickly. And Fairbairn shoots that one to center. Bailey comes on in, and that was just a little sinking liner there for Fairbairn, who reaches base for the 3rd time today. Patrick Matthews stepping up to the plate for Clarke Central after that single by Noah Fairbairn. He's reached base twice this afternoon. He was hit by a pitch back in the 1st, and then reached on an error back in the 3rd. Struck out in the 5th inning. Fairbairn takes his lead over at first. Reed checks him a few times, comes set, checks him once again, and delivers. Matthews, it's a little dribbler down the 3rd base line. No balls, 1 strike here on Patrick Matthews. Fairbairn gets a pretty decent sized lead, does not go. Nice curveball there by Ryan Reed. No balls, 2 strikes here on the 2-hole hitter for Clarke Central. Reed checks the run over at first. Another curveball. Little cue ball over to second and on to first. Patrick Matthews is safe over at first. Nice turn there at second and short by Josh Webster and Jordan Scott. Not able to get the double play though, and Fairbairn retired at second base.
Gladiators, number 23, Jack Elliott Gower.
Elliott Gower stepping up to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day. Singled back in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 to him. A little bit outside. Reed checks the runner and deals the 1-0. That is in there. That is not in there. Excuse me. 2 balls, no strikes. The umpire a little bit sporadic on his calls this afternoon. 2-0 gets by Head at the plate, and Patrick Matthews heads down to second base. Runner in scoring position for Clarke Central, and they're going to need multiple ones of those this inning to extend this game. Down 6. 1 out. You have a 3-0 count to Jack Elliott Gower. Hunter cuts in the on-deck circle. And that is ball 4, and Elliott Gower heads down to first after a walk. Runners on first and second for Clarke Central as Hunter Cutt steps up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. He walked back in the 5th inning and ground out in a line out earlier in the game. The walk wasn't that big of a deal because now they have another double play chance. And that ball is in there on the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1 delivery. Little sinking curveball right there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The 1-1 is up in the zone once again. Head trying to frame it a little bit and come down his squat, but didn't fool the umpire. 2 balls now. 1 strike, 1 out. The runners take off. Cuts fouls it back to the fence. Coach wanted to see if they could get something going with a little hit and run right there. 2-2 count on the cleanup hitter, Hunter Cuts. The 2-2 delivery from Reed. Cuts fouls it off at the plate. The 2-2. Cuts, hits a shot to second base. Jordan Scott fumbles it a little bit and throws over to first and is able to retire. Cuts over at first for the 2nd out of the inning. Both runners advance. 2nd and 3rd now for Clarke Central with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now batting, number 21, Luke Bennett.
Luke Bennett now up to the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Really like to get something going right here. First pitch to him, and he swings right through that one for strike one. Luke Bennett awaits the 0-2 for 0-1. Curveball in the inside corner, ball one. 1-1. The 1-1 delivery. And Bennett swings right through that one. It looked like he didn't know if he was going to go or not, and decided a little bit too late, and the ball was already in the catcher's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And once again, Luke Bennett swings through that one for his 3rd strikeout on the day. And that will do it here in Athens. Clarke Central goes down 9-3 to the Salem Seminoles. 9 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors for the Seminoles, 3 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors for the Gladiators. They split their series this year, and Clarke Central heads over to Cedar Shoals on Wednesday to take on them, and then come back home on Friday to finish up that Cedar Shoals series.